Yo, moi ça va superbe. Aujourd'hui on va faire une comparaison. On voulait savoir qui était le plus rapide dans le monde. Parce qu'on connaît Flash, on connaît Barry Allen, on connaît Kid Flash, on connaît tout le monde. Ok? Fait que là je regardais une vidéo puis je crois que c'est pas mal.
It's been a staple of comic book matchups. And in general, people have been debating about which speedster would smoke which.
C'est en anglais, moi je comprends mais...
So even if some of these characters I am about to list aren't classified in the original source material...
On va faire pause, je reviens. Comme j'en suis de retour, on va continuer la vidéo. C'était Flash. Le plus rapide, je sais pas, j'ai pas encore vu la vidéo complète.
That was portrayed in live action will be on this list. And just in case you don't know, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad. And the DC TV shows, The Flash, Supergirl, Smallville, and Legends of Tomorrow. And basically every other Marvel movie or TV show out there. So yeah, you've been warned. Secondly, this video came out in the middle of 2017. The guy was about 1/10 of a second.
Ça c'est la
She ran
20e.
over 309 miles per hour. The fastest car in the world, the Hennessy
La
Venom
voiture la plus
GT,
rapide
punches up to
fait
270 miles per
270.
hour. So Feora beats us by almost an extra 40 miles per
Fait
hour.
elle est capable de battre la voiture la plus rapide de 40 km/h.
Edward Claris was the metahuman
Ça c'est
arch-nemesis
19e
of the
mission.
TV show's
Attends, on
version
va
of
voir.
miles per hour. So Feora beats us by almost an extra 40 miles per hour. Number 19, The Rival.
Les
Edward
rivales.
Claris was the metahuman arch-nemesis of the TV show's version of Wally West's Kid Flash. In the first episode of The Flash
Ça c'est
season
tout ce qu'il y a
3,
joué dans
the
Flash,
Rival was
on a
almost an
compris
equal
ça.
match with an inexperienced Wally West, suggesting that he was just a little bit slower than the Wally at this point in time. He does manage to
Ok, il est 19e, on s'en bat les couilles
early on
du
that
reste.
when Wally West first started, speed was easy for him. But a few episodes later, and he had to push his limits up to 650 miles per hour to run on water for the first time. Cisco's statements are really vague.
Vous savez quoi, on va pas tout suivre l'histoire, je vais juste couper à chaque moment pour on va trouver les meilleurs.
Then we can find the average speed of hour.
J'ai trouvé le 18e
Number 18, Ezra Miller's The Flash.
de Flash.
The DCEU version of Barry Allen
Mais
follows up this list with his remarkable
l'autre
speed.
Flash, il y a
We're
plusieurs
barely given a
Flash.
cameo of him in both Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and Suicide Squad, but a scene from the Justice League
Ouais,
trailer gives us a
Suicide
hint
Squad,
as
si
to
vous
how
avez une
fast
porte
this
ouverte
Flash
pour moi
truly
pour le
is.
regarder, je
Also,
serais
huge
ravi.
preface right here
J'adore ce
again.
film.
This is just
J'ai
from the
juste vu
trailer
plein de bonnes
alone. This
annonces, mais
character
j'adore.
especially is most likely going to shuffle his way on down the list soon. But for now, all we have is the trailer. And actually, we don't really have to do that much here. In an article titled Just How Fast
On s'en bat les couilles, voilà.
or 1.2 times the speed faster, and how we can phase through objects now, it's implied that he is at or slightly faster than 3 times the speed of sound. Still, he is notably slower than his girlfriend, Jessie Quick, as she and Barry Allen both outran him in their practice race. Or maybe not. I mean, they claimed that he was fast enough, even faster than Barry, to take on Savitar, but then he gets utterly manhandled later on in the episode. So, maybe they were wrong? You know what? I don't know. By the time this video comes out, the filmmakers defeating Gorilla Grodd and his army, decided to move from one parallel universe to another. She now regularly wears a slightly altered version of the original trajectory costume.
Checkez bien. Vous voyez cette fille-là et cette fille-là, c'est même pas la même fille. Checkez bien. Elle, c'est la même fille que elle. Mais dans l'histoire, c'est pas la même fille.
Even though she stood toe-to-toe against Savitar, Jessie Quick barely escaped from him
Et
and
Jessie
was said to
Quick,
be
puis
well
l'autre,
over
je sais
Mach
pas c'est
2.
quoi.
Even so, she's
L'autre, elle a des
physically
tresses,
faster
puis l'autre,
than
elle a les
Mach
cheveux
3
normales.
since she outran Wally in the race training session.
Attendez, une faute déjà de film là. Comment qu'il pourrait avoir un élastique qui pend au bout de ses cheveux puis courir à 1000 km/h? Ça c'est peut-être une erreur parce que moi ça serait enlevé si j'arrêtais une fille quoi.
Seems like I'm giving more time talking about some characters more than others. I don't know, some of these are just flat out stated. Others you gotta do some hokey pokey math. Number 15,
Mais,
Trajectory.
Tu vois, c'est elle.
Eliza Harmon
C'est
was
pas
a
pareil,
scientist
elle a
at
des
Breaking
tresses,
New
elle.
Labs, who later morphed into the villain known as Trajectory after manipulating factors of the super soldier the velocity
Et qui fait qu'elle a
as he
ingurgité une
reached
boisson
his
là.
max speed. Trajectory was still able to smoke him in their race
Ok, elle a
by quite 4
battu.
times the speed of sound. But seconds later, after bragging to
Elle
him
va
about
se
how fast she
désintégrer tout
was, she
seul.
later dissolved into absolute nothingness, without a single speck of her left. But hey, at least her leather clothes were still there. Number 14, Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver.
Ah, ça c'est le gars qui a joué Quicksilver.
Marvel's
C'est
interpretation
le
of
gars qui a
Pietro
joué dans
Maximoff,
les
while it was the same
Avatar.
character, was vastly
C'est
different from
Avatar,
Fox's
ça, il me
version
semble.
of
Non.
the fan favorite character. Still,
Lui, ce caractère-là, je l'adore. Attends, pas
14,
lui,
Aaron
pas
Taylor
lui,
Johnson's Quicksilver. Marvel's
pas
interpretation
lui,
of Pietro Maximoff, while it was the same character, was vastly different from Fox's version of the fan
lui. Parce que dans les X-Men, là, je me rappelle, non, c'était trop drôle. Il faut que vous ayez voir ce film-là. En tout cas,
favorite character. Still, this Quicksilver was able to catch arrows from Hawkeye, dodge a bullet from Ulysses' claw and unloaded his gun on a nearby table, and even outran a loose speeding CO train to save the hundreds of lives of nearby innocent civilians. Unfortunately, he's still pretty much picked at by pretty much everybody for being too slow to dodge these bullets. To clarify a few things, this Quicksilver can indeed catch bullets as shown through here, where he could have easily grabbed it but was just a little confused at what he was looking at. But he
Ok,
around 4 times the speed of
j'ai
sound
compris.
to
Je vais vous
successfully
raconter la
save
fin.
Hawkeye and that one Sokovian lady's. Jay Garrick is the doppelganger veteran
Lui,
speedster of
combien
Harry
de temps?
Allen, since they both run at practically the same speed. Number 13, Jay Garrick.
13e.
Jay Garrick is the doppelganger veteran speedster of Harry Allen from Earth 3. He was captured by Zoom for the purpose of having his
Zoom, il me semble,
like
14e.
Wally West, Jesse Quick, and Trajectory. And as stated earlier, he was caught by Zoom, so he could range anywhere between. Became obsessed with becoming faster. Dr. Harrison Wells claimed that 12, Zoom.
12e.
Hunter Zolomon is a metahuman from Earth 2.
Il est devenu fou,
After
il
discovering
voulait
the
être tout
existence of
rapide,
Barry
il voulait
Allen,
pas
became
de
obsessed with
flash.
becoming faster.
Mais
Dr.
il a
Harrison
oublié
Wells
qu'il y avait
claimed that Zoom was
des
about 3 or 4
fantômes
times faster than Allen towards
qui
the middle
montent
of
dans
season 2 of the
les...
show.
Comment on appelle ça?
And the
Dans
last time
les...
we were notified of how fast Allen was,
les-
before that statement that is, it
les
was about
trous noirs. Il y a des...
1,590 miles per
Quand
hour.
tu cours
This
super
would mean
vite,
Zoom's top
tu
speed
ouvres un
would be around
portail.
Mach
Et dans le
8.2.
portail,
That's
il y a
before
comme...
his
C'est comme si tu t'en vas aux
transformation
États-Unis ou
into
n'importe
whatever
où.
that thing is. I'll get into
Il y a
that thing's
les...
velocity in a minute. Number 11.
des gars qui te
Melissa
demandent ton
Benoist,
passeport, nanana.
Supergirl.
Ah, lui, j'avais pas vu par exemple. Ok. C'est comment qu'on appelle ça? J'oublie si où. Ah, parce qu'il y a une barrière, puis là, tu dois demander ton passeport, si t'as de l'alcool avec toi. Ce bail-là. Mais c'est comme les fantômes dans le portail. Ils peuvent pas te laisser passer si t'as pas tel tas. Et Zoom lui devait quelque chose à ces fantômes-là et il s'y enfuit. Et là, lui Flash, il le savait évidemment, alors il a ouvert un portail et les fantômes sont sortis, ils ont buté Zoom.
Kara Zor-El, or Kara Danvers, is the daughter of scientist Zor-El who was sent to Earth
Ah, ça
from
je
a
le sais,
dying
j'ai déjà vu
Krypton
cette
to
série-là,
protect
c'est
her
plus.
cousin Kal-El.
Pas compris.
However, her pod was set off course
Pour
from
les
the
filles.
shockwave that came from the explosion of planet Krypton. The show doesn't pinpoint her exact limits, but when Flash crossed dimensions and visited Supergirl's Earth, throughout Barry Allen's stay in her world, Supergirl has always been able to keep up with him,
Ah, ça, j'ai
sometimes
pas vu
even
par
beating him
exemple.
in races. Allen's excuse was that he always let her win the races, which we can't really call fact because he could have been joking or something. To help him get back to his world, Supergirl runs at her top speed and throws Allen back into a wormhole. At this point in the timeline, the Flash's top speed was increased by 4 times his old record. And we also have to take into account he was grinning at Supergirl while running, meaning he wasn't trying his best whereas Danvers was. So her max speed is most likely a little over 10 times the speed of sound. Number 10, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. The Man of Steel was born on Krypton but raised on Earth as Clark Kent. Superman has all the powers Kryptonians get after reaching Earth. You know, the super strength, the flight, the speed, the allergies. Throughout the show Supergirl, he has been displayed to be just as fast as his cousin Kara, if not faster. Though both are still just under the speed of a tachyon-enhanced Flash. Number 9,
What?
Grant Gustin's The Flash.
Ah, c'est ça.
The CW's iteration of The Flash is vastly loved by audiences and fans,
Je sais qu'ils étaient
even to the
bien,
point where
j'étais
people
comme-
crucify the DCEU for choosing Ezra Miller over Grant Gustin. Anyways, as stated earlier on in this video, The Flash had to run at Mach 3.3 to cross a bridge in the Trajectory episode of the show. But when he was enhanced by the tachyon equipment, he was able to go 4 times faster than he ever had before, suggesting that he could now run over 13.2 times the speed of sound. This isn't set in stone, as he is shown to be getting fast enough to even perceive the even faster metahuman Savitar.
Ouais, ça va tard,
But
lui.
for
il est plus
now,
vite que lui.
all we can say is that he runs up to Mach 13.2.
Ça va tard, il est
Number
plus vite
8, the Reverse Flash.
que lui. Non, de quoi? C'est
Eobard Thawne is the arch enemy to Barry Allen, who is overly obsessed with proving his superiority to the Red Speedster. In the show Legends of Tomorrow, Sarah Lance claims that the Reverse Flash is even faster than Barry Allen. But truthfully, that might just be an exaggeration, as you can't really support that claim with just the naked eye. So what is his max speed then? Well, in his interview, Tom Cavanaugh implies that the Reverse Flash relies on the negative speed force. This is basically the opposite of what Barry uses for his quickness, but it feeds on the power of the Speed Force itself. What I'm getting at is that the faster Barry goes, the faster Reverse Flash gets. So maybe Lance's statements were off, or maybe not. But for now, Reverse Flash and Flash are at the same speed.
Ouais, ils ont la même
Number
vitesse.
7,
Ce qui est
Black Flash.
Qui est plus vite que lui. Black Flash.
After being abducted by a couple of time raids, Hunter Zolomon transformed from the villain known as Zoom to the uncontrollable zombie-like creature known as the Black Flash. Zoom is originally capable of running
Zoom est
only up to
encore en
Mach
vie.
6 or Mach 8, but the
Je sais
time
pas si
raids
t'as
must
fait
have given him a
buter. Tu vois,
speed
c'est ça, les
multiplier or
fantômes.
something because when he was
Vous voyez? Attends, il y a des fantômes là. Je suis pas fou. Il y a vraiment des fantômes, je les ai vus.
known as Zoom to the uncontrollable zombie-like creature known as the Black Flash. Zoom is originally
Ok, j'ai essayé.
capable of running only up to Mach 6 or Mach 8, but the time raid
Vous voyez, il y a des fantômes qui tournent autour de lui. Ben, eux, ils l'avaient buté, ils l'avaient apporté avec lui dans une zone pour le tuer. Mais il est encore en vie, le 9 août, ça sort. On est genre le 13. Non, on est pas 13.
Eobard didn't even try to run. He just stood there in utter fear, hoping that he couldn't track him because he wasn't using the Speed Force at the moment. Also, we saw him easily catch up to the Flash in that Speed Force scene of Season 3. Judging from his reaction, it's safe to say that the Black Flash is well above Mach 13, faster than the Flash and the Reverse Flash. Number 6. Tom Welling's Superman. The next one on this list is Tom Welling's favorited portrayal of the Man of Steel himself. Clark Kent in this series has progressed well in terms of speed. Towards the end of the show, in Season 9, Kent saves Oliver Queen and Lois Lane from an incoming bullet. The gun the criminal used was an Intratec Tech DC-9, which has a muzzle velocity of 360 meters per second. The victims were about 10 footsteps away from the bad guy, which according to Livestrong.com is about 25 feet. So we can bring back the speedster equation and find out how many seconds 1 second for us feels like to Superman. Well, the bullet took 19 seconds to travel 7.62 meters when it should have taken just 20 milliseconds. We find out that Smallville Superman moves around all because of the whole city destruction spiel. In Batman v Superman, moments later, Superman was able to travel from just outside of Earth's atmosphere to Earth's surface in under a minute, which is a distance of about 300 miles. Clocking in the actual runtime of the sequence, that would mean Cavill's Flash TV show to date. He is so fast that he even appears to be a blur under the Flash's perception of time.
Ben oui,
In one of his
tellement là,
appearances on the TV
il pourrait
show,
prendre Flash
Savitar
et
makes a full
éclater sa
circle
tête
on Barry
même. T'as
and
vu comment il
punches him
traîne?
around several times.
Il prend, il
In Legends
traîne.
of Tomorrow, under Barry Allen's point of view, Diggle's bullet takes about 2 full seconds to travel the gun's length. While Diggle uses a custom-made pistol, a cross between what seems to be a Magnum revolver and the M1911 Colt pistol. Well, the average length between these two guns is 8 inches, and their muzzle velocities average out to be 350 meters per second, indicating that 1 second for him is actually 0.57 milliseconds for us. Since Barry ran for 1.5 seconds under his point of view when he was facing Savitar, that would mean it was actually 0.86 milliseconds in real time. Next, we can use the circumference formula of a circle to find the distance in. We find out that Savitar ran 12.25. Bart Allen is a speedster who has messed with Tom Welling's Superman plenty of times before. He was so much faster compared to Welling's character that he appeared to be using super speed while in Superman's super speed vision. So the way we can find Alan's speed in the show was when he was playing a little game of tag with Superman. In Season 6, Episode 11 of Smallville, Alan manages to run half a city block in about half a second. Well, your average city block is about 311 feet long, meaning that with the correct units, Bart Allen ran 95 meters per second. But remember, that was all under Superman's already slowed down perception of time. So multiplying Welling's second to second ratio shows us that Bart Allen can run up to speeds of Mach 263.
C'est-à-dire qu'il était plus rapide.
Evan Peters' Quicksilver.
Non, damn.
Quicksilver was an instant fan favorite of many after X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse. He is the son of Magneto, who became an official X-Men member in the 1980s, and he saved almost everybody from an exploding X-Men ship.
Je disais qu'il était drôle, il y avait un chien qui a mangé de la pizza pendant que tout était en train d'exploser.
Rest in peace, Havoc. So I made a video of how fast this guy was last summer, but to be honest, even I have to admit I made huge underestimations and overestimations, and took way too many unnecessary variables into account. Like seriously, looking back at it now, half of those variables didn't have to be there. So I'm gonna recalculate his speed again. My god, my head is gonna explode. First things first, how big is the mansion? We are never explicitly told how big the X-Mansion is in the movies, but in an article by Movoto.com, the article writers analyzed the various requirements and floor levels the mansion has, and estimated that the Xavier School for the Gifted should cover around 76,654 square feet. Next, how fast was the explosion? Well, no one knows for sure, so let's use the average detonation velocity of about 7,150 meters per second. If we assume the X-Mansion is in the shape of a square, then each side of the mansion would have to be 277 feet long. But in Quicksilver's point of view, the whole 6 milliseconds dragged on for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, implying that 1 second for us is 23,333 seconds for Quicksilver. Over speed while already in super speed. And this doesn't mean he goes twice as fast. Hear me out on this one. Simply just multiplying his speed by 2 time is already slowed down. Running in and out of the X-Mansion to save the kids while the explosion is happening in slow motion. But it will tell us the slowest Quicksilver had to be running. So he runs in to save Mystique, and steps outside and comes back to Moira all in just 0.733 seconds. Since this is under Quicksilver's perception of time though, in Quicksilver traveled well above 84.4 meters in 0.03 milliseconds. Over 8,200, much higher number. Seriously. General Zod! Dude, that's pretty fast and reminds me of my uncle, but I couldn't really find a clip of him moving in a measurable length. The 90s Flash I never watched. Accelerated Man. nothing really to comment on him because we've barely even seen him at all. Brandon Routh's Superman. He saved people from a Gatling gun, but he was technically part of another Superman's canon who's on this list, so I wasn't sure if I should have... She, like, moves around people in an instant. Not sure if what he did was just a cliche transition to the next scene, or if he actually outran Peter's line of sight. Green Lantern. He looks pretty fast, but I'd have to watch the film again in order to scale him on this list. And you know I love this channel. But there's a point where you just gotta draw some lines. Number 1. Christopher Reeve's Superman. The most iconic